This is my predictions video for the Money in the Bank, which is going to happen on Saturday, Sunday here in India. And let's start with it without any further ado. And the first match is what's probably going to be the main event of the show, which is Cody and Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena. I think Cody and Jey Uso are winning. Like there were thoughts in my head that maybe John and Logan can win, but the thing is, Cody has just come back. Jey Uso is facing Gunther just 2 days after the show. Like you need to, like, heat them up essentially. Like Cody has just come back. Like this will be his first match after WrestleMania, and you can protect John Cena. Like you already saw that there were signs of a little dissension between John and Logan at SmackDown, and maybe they just don't gel well, and in the end Cena just gets frustrated and just leaves, or he gets kicked by Logan Paul by mistake, and he just doesn't help him later. And you can have you can have Cody, you can have Jey Uso pin Logan Paul. Like it doesn't do anything like wrong if Logan Paul loses. Like Logan Paul wins or loses, it doesn't do anything to either bring him down. If he wins, it doesn't do anything to bring him up. Like him beating Jey Uso, what will it do for him? Like he has already lost to Jey Uso at Saturday Night's main event. It was not like that match ended in no contest. Cena has been winning since WrestleMania. Like him getting a pin over Jey Uso doesn't make sense because Jey Uso is not going to be champion till Crown Jewel. So probably they are not going to have a match there. John Cena is probably not going to be champion there too. So it doesn't make sense. And John Cena pinning Cody again. Do you really want Cody to be pinned in like a matter of few months? Like there is a reason why Cody's losses can be like counted on one hand. Like he is the top baby face. Like they will not have him lose this quickly and again to Cena, who he eventually is going to beat at SummerSlam. And I do think what's gonna happen is maybe after the match ends, there's gonna be whoever wins the Money in the Bank. Probably Seth. He's gonna try to cash in, but it's not gonna go well. And maybe then we'll have some Gunther interference. Also, maybe he'll be there as a special guest seeing the match. So just to see how battered Jey Uso gets, about how stupid he is, uh, before I'm going to face him at Raw. Maybe he gets involved to prevent the cash in happening because he wants to face Jey Uso like a man at Raw, and that kind of like sets up to Seth eventually cashing it in at Monday Night Raw between the Gunther versus Jey Uso match, and it will be a good callback also to uh, to him cashing in it between Roman versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31, the heist of the century, and him like Gunther actually stopping Rollins. Like it would do well for his character also, that he's a heel. He's like a very like demonizing heel, but he has honor as well. So I think this will happen. So my prediction is Cody and Jey Uso winning, and I think they may have Jey Uso pin Logan Paul, or maybe Cody. Because Jey Uso pin, yeah, I don't know about that, but Cody and Jey Uso will win. Then going into the second match, which is Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and this I think is I think 90% are saying, and I agree, it's going to be Becky Lynch, because when they added the stipulation, which is not really an officially stipulation, it's just between the two individuals, is that if Lyra wins, Becky will never challenge for the title again. If Becky wins, Lyra has to raise the hand which pushes her down. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Becky will probably win by some shenanigans. Maybe she holds the ropes. Maybe this time the eye poke does not work and Becky wins. Or maybe what happens is what I suggest is Bailey returns between the match. Maybe Becky's trying to hit her with the chair because the ref is down. Bailey tries to, like, attack Becky, but inadvertently costs Lyra the title. I think that will be a really good story wrinkle to add there, because unlike just having Bailey return after the match and you can and just having a straight up, like, maybe you get a Bailey versus Lara Valkyria number one contenders, but Becky attacks both. Then you get a triple threat at Evolution. Uh, like, add a little bit of more story wrinkle. Like, because Bailey interferes, she inadvertently costs Lara Valkyria. So it casts a doubt in Lara Valkyria's mind too. Then Becky can say, I warned you. Like, I warned you how Bailey was. Like, see what she did. She returned, but only to cost you the championship. Like, sowing doubts into Lyra's mind. Like, that will, make their feud much more interesting than it already is. It will be much better than straight up like two baby faces and one heel. While my idea is, like, have a conflicting baby face who is, like, conflicted about which side to join and who to trust, and that's how Becky retains that Evolution also. She retains her title at Evolution, and maybe then we get a Becky versus Bailey, straight up Becky versus Bailey at SummerSlam. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think one thing is Becky is winning. I have enjoyed the program a lot. One thing I have to say, Lyra's material may not be the best. Her delivery is still work in progress, but the confidence that she has in saying the stuff, in working through, powering through, like whatever, like what chance they were doing, and then getting the crowd interested in her back again, like, shows that she will do well in this business. Like, she will climb all the ladders to the top of the business. She will do well, and Becky, as always, will help to the 100%, like, to whatever extent she can, to make sure that Lyra, after her, can be someone who is an Irish origin star. She will do that. So I predict Becky to win the IC Women's Championship. I think only problem is, I think one thing is, for 2 months you have the program set. It's just that what happens after that. Like, do you have do you push Lyra into the women, to the top, or to the women's world title, or do you give her a break, then bring her back because she has lost to Becky? And what do you do with Bailey? Because Bailey is not beating Becky at SummerSlam. So, do you give Bailey her moment? Then when do you give her moment? Maybe at the Royal Rumble, maybe at WrestleMania. Then what do you do with Lyra? So these are all the questions that I think they need to keep in mind, because what is the end goal here? End goal is to make sure that Lyra is the top star, and to also to re-establish Bailey as an important factor, because Bailey has been too selfless. She has been taking too many pins, and you have to, like, re-establish her as a credible veteran. And also her, like, to the stage when she wins the Intercontinental Championship, people are so happy, because you have to raise the value of the Intercontinental Championship too. So you need to put people like Kairi Sane, maybe a returning Asuka, into that IC Women's Championship division, so that it prospers and that the title becomes relevant. Then, moving forward, I have the women's Money in the Bank, which I think probably one of the men's or women's Money in the Bank, I think, are going to open the show. Maybe they'll have Becky versus Lyra, because open the show, because Stephanie and Gable are both pulling double duty, because they're both having matches at Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. So you want to give them time to recover. The thing with Stephanie is that she's in a tag match, and that will probably happen, like, in the earlier stages of the show. So maybe you don't need that, but I think may what has happened and what will probably happen, I think they'll open with the women's Money in the Bank. So let's go with it. The women's Money in the Bank, whose contestants are Julia, Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, then is it Zelina Vega? I don't know if it's Zelina Vega. I have forgot. Like I know one thing. It's Stephanie. It's Julia. It's Alexa Bliss. Julia, Alexa Bliss. Who else is there? Like I have forgotten the names of the women's Money in the Bank contestants. I don't remember all the names. Yeah, Rhea Ripley is also there. Is Zelina there or not? I don't know. But uh, one thing is, I have the idea about who is going to win. I think, yeah, Naomi is there also. How can I forget that? So I do think Naomi will probably win. It makes the most sense. You can make a strong case for other people winning too, like Julia winning. Yeah, Roxanne is there also. Yeah, just don't mind me, I just got the names back in my head. Roxanne winning can make sense because you have all the Judgment Day storyline, like Liv losing all these matches, Liv losing her world championship, and Roxanne with the Money in the Bank. You can have the tension between them, the title that you lost, the title that made you into a star. Now I have the keys to get that title back. You can do that storyline. You can also extend that for a while, because remember when Damian Priest was the Money in the Bank, like apart from the Finn feud, they they never really use the fact that Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank holder in storylines, apart from like one liners or something. And there was a meme also, like what does he do, because he didn't cash in at favorable moments. That will not happen with Roxanne because you have a story which makes sense along with it. But the thing is also, Roxanne right now, even aside from the Money in the Bank, they still have that story. They don't really need the Money in the Bank to tell the story what they're doing with the Judgment Day right now, which is kind of like the repeat what happened when when Liv Morgan came and they kicked out Rhea, and it's essentially Finn, because Finn says that there is no leaders in the Judgment Day, but when he feels that the power is going out of his hands, he just self destroys everything. He just self destructs the whole family, and that's what's gonna happen. So I think Roxanne is cancelled out there. Then I think Stephanie Walker will have a great performance, maybe get close to winning, but I don't think she's winning. And that's what you kind of expect, because Stephanie winning, she just came, like she, of course she has been there 2 weeks after WrestleMania, but this is her like official call up. She just had a video package, just had a match. Her winning that Money in the Bank briefcase, I think right now you want to hold off, maybe get the crowd to get acclimatized to her, maybe get to know her more, maybe get her into a feud with someone. Like they already teased the Rhea Ripley stuff. Like you can do stuff with her later. I don't know with whom can you put her into a feud with, but I think right now she is not going to be the one that's going to win. Julia, they kind of spoiled it because they had a video package on last week's SmackDown, and immediately after that, she confronted Zelina, and it's clear that Julia is going after the US Championship, so she is not winning that. I'm sure that these NXT call-ups will have a great performance in the matches, because I think that's what Julia needs, because Julia before this video package hasn't really like gotten anything in her that people can latch on to. After this video package, like if she does well in the match also, then immediately after that goes into a feud with Zelina also, I think that will make people care about her as well. Then you have Alexa Bliss. I think no, she already has stuff with Charlotte, and I think uh, that will be her storyline going forward. Her being like a like a frenemy tag team with Charlotte, and probably like Charlotte like posted a story with her embracing her true self with Charlotte and kind of like the Wyatt Six characters. Maybe Alexa Bliss and Charlotte both. I think maybe Alexa Bliss is kind of like showing this side to Charlotte that she's her only friend and all, but her real intention is to like convert her and get her into the Wyatt Six. And I think that's what's gonna happen eventually. Maybe a few months down the line, maybe near SummerSlam time, that you have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte like join the Wyatt Six again. There you have the dynamic also that you have a Nikki Cross there as well. So is Nikki happy with this or not? And you have something new to do with Charlotte. Charlotte doing something new rather than just being the queen character. Her exploring maybe the supernatural dark characters. Let's see if this works or not, but at least she will do something new. So I don't think Alexa Bliss is winning. Naomi winning makes sense because first is Naomi winning is not something which is like out of nowhere. It will make storyline sense also because she has been the kind of heel who is deranged stalker but is also like afraid. Like she runs away from Jade always. She wins, but she wins by like rolling people up. So she's a coward in a way too, so it suits her character as well. And also you don't really have to have a Naomi with the money in the bank long like waiting for the right champion for her to cash in, because she already has a storyline with someone like Tiffany, with someone like Jade, with someone like a Bianca going on, so that you can have her cash in on Tiffany maybe at Evolution. I think maybe you do Tiffany versus either Bianca or Tiffany versus Jade at Evolution, and then just when either Bianca or Jade are near winning that title, you have Naomi cash in and Naomi wins the championship, and then you can have Naomi versus Bianca versus Jade at SummerSlam in a triple threat. And even there, Naomi can win, and then eventually later in the year, or early next year, you can have Bianca take the title from Naomi, and then maybe you do Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania 42 and have Jade win the women's championship there. So it fulfills everything. You already have a ready-made storyline, you have a ready-made like path to get to WrestleMania from here. So it's probably the easiest, and you have to like strike gold when the metal is hot, because Naomi is so hot as a heel right now. She just lost to Jade also. You don't want to squander all the heat that she has. So even if she holds the title for like 2 months, 3 months, at least you had her win the title when she was the hottest. And also Naomi doesn't have many years left. She wants to start a family. So it's probably in the next 5 years, maybe the last time we see Naomi wrestle full time. We may not see her full time again, and you don't know till where this gimmick has an expiration date. So that also you have to look into. And the others in this match, like they have either ready-made storylines or they have a long career left. Naomi doesn't have that. Like her storyline with Bianca or Jade has an expiration date. Like it cannot go beyond WrestleMania next year. And she's a heel, so it ends with her losing. So you need to like capture gold when the metal is hot. You have to. So my prediction is Naomi winning. Now going to the men's Money in the Bank, which is, I don't like that Andrade qualified. Not that I have a problem with Andrade, like you had Carmelo there. The match was designed the way that Carmelo could have gotten. You protected him by Aleister Black winning by disqualification and by a roll up, and then you just have him take the pin against Andrade, who has not done anything. But okay, what I think is Americano is not winning. I can see Rey Mysterio returning in this match. maybe Ray returns, or maybe Penta takes off Americano's mask, and like Americano runs away and Penta also runs away after him, so that like eliminates both. Penta is not gonna win. I don't think they see him as a world champion, even though I think he got more over than to the extent that they thought that he would. But even then, I don't think the plan is to have Penta be the world champion. I think the plan is eventually get him back with Phoenix as the Lucha Bros and have them become a tag team. And also because Phoenix has not really gotten over that to that extent which they thought he would, and I think that is a good plan also. So both of these guys are not winning. Then Andrade is there just to like make the match more interesting, like have him do all the silly bumps and everything. So he's just there as a body to take bumps. So Andrade is not winning anyways. So the three people, so Solo Sikoa, I think Solo Sikoa, this time the tables are going to get turned. Jacob and Mateo will come out and they will try to help Solo win. But this time, instead of what Jacob has faced, that Solo has inadvertently cost him matches, or put him in trouble, getting him into fatal four ways and all, you will have Jacob inadvertently costing Solo a chance to win. And I think that's how Solo gets taken out of this match. And then you have the three contenders who are three or two, I think probably two. So you have oh you have LA Knight and you have Seth freaking Rollins. Out of them, I think only out of them is someone who can win. And LA Knight also, because I think people want him to win. Otherwise, looking at TV, like how much has LA Knight been involved in this Money in the Bank like build up? You can say that nobody really has been, because it's been just 2 weeks of build. But even then, like what are people are saying that LA Knight is going to win because there is nothing for him to do. They just teased an Aleister Black feud with him on SmackDown. You guys don't watch SmackDown, this is why you don't know. What I think is probably going to happen is LA is going to get attacked by Aleister Black in the match. Maybe some backstage segment happens earlier in the show where LA says some shit to Aleister Black, and then Aleister Black attacks LA Knight, and then that kicks him out, and eventually Rollins wins. And what happens? What I want then to happen is then you have Carmelo versus Aleister Black 3. LA Knight costs him that match. Then Carmelo goes into next week, faces Andrade, and wins again because of the LWO distraction. You need to restart that LWO versus uh, Phoenix and Andrade feud also. And Carmelo regains his aura and his somewhat of the heat he has back. And if you're then pushing Miz out of the company, you have Carmelo Hayes then turn after the match against Andrade or Miz. Then you have a match, loser leaves WWE match with Carmelo and Miz on SmackDown. Carmelo wins that, gives him a concerto, and kicks him out of WWE. That's what happened. But then going back to the topic, which is this Money in the Bank, who is gonna win? People are saying LA because probably CM Punk is going to interfere, and maybe that costs Seth Rollins. Maybe a Roman Reigns comes back. But then I just watched a video. I don't know what the channel's name was. It was a bald guy with the goatee. He said that people who are predicting Roman Reigns coming back, do you realize that? Do you think that Roman Reigns will work 3 pay-per-views in 3 months? Like, if he returns at Money in the Bank, he's gonna work Clash of Champions, he's gonna work Saturday Night's Main Event, and then he's gonna work SummerSlam. And I don't think Roman does that. He's probably gonna return at SummerSlam, and then he's going to do stuff maybe till Bad Blood or maybe till Survivor Series, and then you have him take a break again, then you have him come back near the Rumble. I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't see Roman coming back, even though it would make sense for Roman to come back. I can see a certain Ricky Starks debut. Like, maybe Punk comes out, Sami Zayn comes out, Jey Uso also comes out, maybe AJ Styles also comes out. So, so the Bronson and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman are taken care of, and you see that LA is finally going to win the Money in the Bank. But then maybe Alistair Black did an attack on LA before, and then Seth is climbing, but then you have Bronson. You do that after that. Even like Alistair Black attack is kind of like a fake out, but then you have Ricky Starks come and he costs LA the match, and you have Seth Rollins win the match, and you have Ricky Starks as the fourth member of the Seth Rollins faction. Because one thing is, this faction is going to go to at least War Games, and you're going to have 5 out of 5, 5 on 5. And even if like Sammy turns heel and joins them, you still need one more member. And I think if Ricky Starks is coming to the main roster, which has been rumored, I see Ricky Starks being involved in this feud. Like, he is CM Punk and Cody Rhodes' buddy. Like, clearly management has him in, sees him in Big Eye also, because like he was just there in NXT for a few months and he's getting called up. Ricky Starks being the member of Seth Rollins faction like will get him instantly over, and also makes sense because Seth Rollins is getting, first Seth Rollins got the guy who, who essentially killed him, nearly killed him, because he saw how strong he is and everything. And also that uh, in the end CM Punk was the one who injured Bronson Reed. He got someone like a Braun Breaker who is just like hell on earth, like he is the next big guy. He's getting him under his tutelage too, and getting Ricky Starks, who has been a friend of CM Punk, like it makes storyline sense also. So I think Ricky Starks will come, and this will lead to Seth Rollins winning, and then Seth cashes in the Jay versus Gunther. Because if Seth doesn't win, you're not gonna have LA cash in. And one thing people have to remember, that Seth and Naomi are kind of like the ideal winners that Triple H will want, because both of their Money in the Bank cash-ins will get finished in like 1 or 2 month tops, so it won't go for long. So it will make sense. With LA is you have to then wait till you have the right champion as the world heavyweight champion, on which LA can cash in his Money in the Bank. And anyways, Triple H does not like the Money in the Bank, and then he's not gonna wait for like storylines to happen so that he can have LA cash in. Even though it is kind of hypocrisy that he can talk about cashing in on Jay, because he got the yeet over, he got the everything, like we got to strap the rocket on his back, but not with LA Knight, who was equally as over as him in 2023, because he wanted to get his boy Damian Priest a world title. But then I don't like, this makes the most sense, because otherwise what is going to happen in the Gunther versus Jay match? You cannot have Gunther lose to Jay again, getting pinned by him again. So either what happens is LA wins, but then you have Seth Rollins interfere and like cause another DQ. Maybe like he stomps Jay, and maybe that sets up Seth versus Jay versus Gunther at Clash of Champions, and that a World Heavyweight Championship triple threat, and that's where maybe Seth takes the title from Jay, and Gunther doesn't get hurt because he doesn't get pinned. Jay also gets kind of protected because it's a triple threat match, and maybe you have the Ricky Starks debut there at Clash of Champions. Like that can also work. But then, do you really? I don't think Triple H sees it like that. I think Seth Rollins is winning. So that was my predictions. What are your predictions for the Money in the Bank? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of kind of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter/X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description, so go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is sharpo@okicici, is in the description also, so go donate any amount of money which you can. which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you, goodbye, alvida.